Imagine a world without the 10 Commandments. No, thou shalt not kill, no, thou shalt not steal. Sounds like chaos, right? But for thousands of years before the famous Mosaic Law, societies thrived. They had order, they had justice, just not our kind. In this video, we'll journey back in time to explore how ancient civilizations like Mesopotamia and Egypt wrestled with right and wrong, law and order, long before Moses climbed Mount Sinai. Forget dry history textbooks. We're diving into fascinating stories of ancient judges, groundbreaking legal codes, and surprisingly sophisticated systems of justice. You'll discover, were these ancient laws truly just? What can they teach us about justice today? And how did these early attempts at social order pave the way for the laws we know now? Get ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about law and justice. To understand this story, we need to journey back thousands of years, long before the time of Moses. We're talking about the Bronze Age, the dawn of civilization. Imagine a world without smartphones, cars, or even widespread literacy. Societies were smaller, but they were growing rapidly. People were settling into villages, then towns, and eventually, complex cities began to emerge, especially in fertile regions like Mesopotamia and the Nile Valley of Egypt. As communities grew, so did the inevitable challenges of living together. How do you divide land fairly? What happens when someone steals from their neighbor or violence breaks out? Every society needs rules to function, to prevent chaos and ensure some level of stability. But without a set of commandments etched in stone by a divine hand, how did these ancient peoples create a sense of order? How did they define justice? That's the ancient puzzle we're going to explore. Our journey into ancient justice begins in Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. This land, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in modern-day Iraq, was home to some of the earliest cities and complex societies. And it's here, around 1754 BCE, that we find one of history's most significant legal documents, the Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi was a king of Babylon, and his code wasn't just suggestions, it was a comprehensive legal system, inscribed on towering stone tablets for all to see. These weren't abstract principles, they were practical laws addressing everyday life. Want to know what happened if you damaged someone's property? Hammurabi had a law for that. What if you were a builder and a house you constructed collapsed and killed the owner? There was a law for that too, and it was harsh. The Code of Hammurabi is famous for its principle of retributive justice, often summarized as an eye for an eye. This lex talionis meant punishment should directly correspond to the crime. If you caused harm, the same harm would be inflicted upon you. Let's imagine a scenario. A farmer accuses his neighbor of stealing irrigation water. Under Hammurabi's code, if guilty, the neighbor might face punishment directly related to the damage, perhaps being deprived of his water supply or even physical retaliation. The focus is on making the offender pay in kind for the harm caused. But was Hammurabi's code truly fair? Punishments often varied depending on social class, and the law code wasn't applied equally to everyone. Did this system truly deliver justice, or did it simply reinforce existing inequalities? Let's now cross over to ancient Egypt. While Mesopotamia focused on codified laws and strict retribution, Egyptian justice had a different flavor, intertwined with ma'at. Ma'at wasn't just law, it was a cosmic principle: balance, truth, justice, and cosmic harmony. The pharaoh, a divine ruler, was Ma'at's guarantor. Justice in Egypt was about restoring equilibrium, not just inflicting pain. Egypt had a well-established legal system through royal decrees and priestly wisdom, not a single code like Hammurabi's. Egyptian legal practices showed elements of restorative justice, emphasizing mediation, reconciliation, and sometimes compensation to restore community harmony. Imagine a dispute between merchants. Instead of harsh penalty, a judge might mediate, seeking a solution satisfying both, repairing the social fabric. Perhaps the offender would make amends, compensating the wronged party to restore ma'at. So how does this compare to eye for an eye? Was ma'at a more advanced justice, or was Mesopotamian retribution more effective? Consider these philosophies. We've seen two distinct approaches. Let's compare Mesopotamia and Egypt. A key contrast is retributive justice versus early restorative justice. Hammurabi's code embodies retributive justice. Punishment, balance via retaliation. Wrongdoing demands suffering. Focused lawbreaker gets what they deserve, deterring others with harsh penalties. Justice as strict accounting, a debt repaid in kind. Egyptian justice, with ma'at, leans towards restorative principles, though not entirely. While punishment existed, the goal was broader: mend cosmic fabric, restore societal harmony and divine order, considering reconciliation, compensation, and repairing social damage. Which system is better? Both have limitations. Hammurabi's retribution, while consequential, could be harsh, rigid, and worsen inequality. Egyptian justice, aiming for harmony, could rely on pharaohs and priests' will, lacking consistent written rules. Yet both reveal universal needs: rules for society, desire for fairness, differently defined, and authority to enforce order. Both understood chaos destroys societies. Both sought to answer how to create a just, ordered world. These ancient attempts influenced later legal and ethical thought, even contributing to Mosaic law. Why does this ancient history matter now? Because these ancient attempts raise questions still relevant today. We still grapple with punishment versus rehabilitation. Our legal systems still wrestle with fairness and social inequalities. Do our systems lean more retributive, punishment-focused, or restorative, healing and repair-focused? Often it's a mix, debated constantly. Studying ancient systems with their imperfections and different approaches gives us perspective. Justice isn't fixed, it evolves across cultures and millennia, shaped by the values and societies of the time. Understanding this history gives us insights to build more just and equitable societies today. Our journey reveals the pre-Ten Commandments world wasn't lawless. Societies actively grappled with social order and justice. From Hammurabi's eye for an eye to Ma'at's cosmic harmony, we see humanity's earliest attempts to define right and wrong, create cohesive societies. While these ancient methods contrast with Mosaic law and modern systems, they remind us, the quest for justice in all forms is a timeless human endeavor. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Were these ancient systems truly just? Which approach, retributive or restorative, do you find more compelling and why? What lessons from ancient justice apply to our world? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss ancient justice and its relevance now. Thank you for exploring ancient law and justice. Like this video, subscribe for more history and big ideas. Find further reading in the description about Mesopotamia, Egypt, and legal history. Thanks for watching. See you next video.